Good evening, Sir Hong Seng Kyong. My name is Pwanadra and I'm from DEC50113 and my entry number is 06 DEC19F1011. And today I spoke with the debate the advantage of liquid cooling system to the use for the computer system. And first thing is water higher specific heat capacity density and terminal conductivity. This allows water to transmit heat over a greater distance, which must less volumetric flow and reduce temperature difference. And the second one is just drawing heat away from the processor and outside for the system. And this is allow for higher clock speeds in the processor as the ambient temperature of the CPU core still within the manufacturing specification. And third one is the water jacket around an engine is also very effective as deadlines mechanical noises, which makes the engines quieter. Many high performance CPUs require fan speed in excess of 7000 RPM that generate noise of 60 plus decibels of noises. And the fourth one is does not need to open computer to clean heat. And this is the liquid of the cost, size, compatibility, safety, skill required eventually and spread. The cost is will be the liquid is high and the size liquid is big, and compatibility is specifically CPU, and safety is less, and skill required in liquid is yes. Eventually is liquid is high and the spread of the liquid is low. And this is a more space. A traditional computer has various ball bearing fans within heat to keep the computer cool with a circular for a static pressure floor methodology. These fans are blinkers and take up the top space, and many of the individual parts of the computer require their own specific fans for different reasons, such as a CPU requires a CPU fan and a CPU video card requires, and OEMs with its own cooling solutions that are usually large fan. With a smaller profile, liquid cooling requires less space within your computer, allowing most freedoms for additional components to be installed, as well as give your computer a thinner profile and a really sweet and stylish piece of ice candy to look at with ultimate customizations options. And the noise-free operations is a few hours known a computer that wherever you use certain applications or work on certain projects, the fans in your computer will go anywhere, and your computer starts to sound similar to a jet engine. The loud noises will occasionally sound like your computer is about to take off. The quite frankly, they can be distractions and annoying. Those loud noises are also telling you a written piece of information that you have absorbing lots of processing power, and if your computer is slowing down or not performing step throttling we talked about is still downer. With liquid cooling, there is no need for these loud fans, and the process of liquid cooling makes little to noise with maximum eventually. And the better overclocking potential is raising the frequency of the CPU or GPUs is common practice with your computer or list, but this can be held very detrimental to those units without proper heat dissipations, and it requires a lot of energy flow. And block that quickly raises the resistance of energy is called microprocessors and cause creating insane amounts of terminal activity. With liquid cooling, this excess heat can be removed more ways more eventually and allows the system to transfer heat over greater distances, allowing you the maximum operating frequency of both CPU and GPU clock speed, all the while maintaining an optimal terminal heat dissipation profile even under severe stress and load. And last but not least, this is a cooling specific component. Will require a liquid cooling that is a higher degree of cooling specifications, meaning that certain components of the computer can be cooled faster and more effectively than traditional types of coolings. Liquid coolings can also be used to cool down key components of the computer, including the hard drives, voltage regulators, modules, and power supplies. Thank you so much for Sir Hong Seng Kyung.